Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Know the Truth, aka the Black Cinderella. I hope everyone is having a glorious, wonderful day. Waking up thanking the God that we've made it through another possibly torturous night and that we are here to spread the word and that we are alive and doing well. One of the things that I want to talk about as far as being a targeted individual or a targeted person is the type of treatment you may get from your, owners from where you rent at, or the type of workers that work in or around your complex or your home or your neighbors. One of the things that I've noticed that, and this is from my, past experience and, previous experiences, is that a lot of people that are being targeted, it stems from where you live. If you live in an apartment building, you will always have a manager who is a stickler, a manager who will call you for any given stupid thing that makes no sense to the entire world at that moment. But it's something that they feel that they have to call you with. Something stupid as, there was a plant that was in front of your walkway and all of a sudden the plant is gone. Did you do something to the plant? First of all, who has time to really destroy one plant? Okay. Another thing they do, they always try to overtalk you, try to always be so powerful about, when they speak to you. They don't want you to say anything or have the last word because they demand the last word. When you live in an environment where you have a hostile manager and you're a targeted individual, 9 out of 10 times the hostile manager is probably, a part of this gang stalking nation. And I can't speak for everyone out there, but I can speak for myself that a couple of managers that I've run across have been very rude and disrespectful for no apparent reason. One manager in Barstow, California, where we lived, was very secretive, did a lot of stuff behind my back to try to fix certain things that needed to be fixed in the apartment, but did it without my knowledge. Did it by coming into my apartment when I was taking the kids to school, or did it while I was on a Walmart run, or did it when I just wasn't home. And when I would call him to find out, hey, how come, this was painted? Oh, I thought I would go on there and do it. Okay, well, how did you know that I was even gone? And first of all, you're supposed to call me and give me 24-hour notice before you even enter into the home. Well, I didn't think it would matter because you said that you wanted it done. Okay, well, I said I wanted it done. Okay. But I didn't mean for you to come in and do it right when I step out the house, which was always suspect to me. Um, a manager that you complain about certain things that's going on in your home. If you complain about it, a manager that doesn't act on fixing the problem or trying to make the situation better. A manager that is a gang stalker or just a fuck face is one that says, well, what did you do to make it that way? Or how come, what did you do so it turned off that way? Well, you must have did something, that's why it's broken. I think that a lot of managers that are involved in this whole gang stalking era are just stupid, and they have no love for human life. They don't care about what's going on in your personal life as far as your living situation because they're more of just trying to torment you. Now, if you do stay in an apartment, you're always going to find that you will see a worker. There'll always be that worker that comes down the hallways and sweeps the hallways, mops the hallways, is always fixing something stupid that's not even broken, like the outlets in the hallways or the doorknobs, or just steady, just always in the hallway. When you come out, there they are. They're either, mopping the stairs or they're, putting something together. Always the perfect timing for you to come out or come into your apartment. A lot of gang stalkers that dwell in your apartment building or around the area that you live in, you always know the ones because there's always the ones that come out right when you come out. And they're always the ones that may ask for a cigarette, may ask for, a bell pepper, an onion. Do you have any foil? Do you have a grocery bag? Do you have Tylenol? Do you have an extra pair of socks? Do you have 4 pieces of bread? Do you have seven cloves of garlic? Always something stupid they come to your door and ask for, but yet they never have anything at all. These are the ones that always come out simultaneously as you're going out, as you're leaving for work, as you're leaving to take the kids to the bus stop, as you're going to the grocery store. They always seem to come out at the same exact time and are always there to greet you and ask you for something stupid. A lot of times when you deal with being in an environment like that, it gets to you because you're like, God damn, won't you go buy your own damn bell pepper? What do you do with your money? Where's your milk at? Oh, you want another cup of milk, another half a cup of oil? Like, what do you do all day? And so these type of things in your life can be very disruptive because it happens so often. And what this does is it makes you not want to go outside of your dwelling. You want to stay inside because you don't want to deal with the extra hassles of these people constantly harassing you. You always find that, if you say no to them about a certain thing, they get an attitude like, you're supposed to give me 2 slices of cheese. Oh, you're supposed to, hand me 6, pieces of bread that I asked for. No, you're not. First of all, I don't have to give you shit. Okay. A way that I've learned to deal with a lot of targeting that goes on around my home is just to ignore it. I don't try to feed into a lot of the shit that happens, especially when, the manager calls with something, stupid. I just don't pay attention to it. I say, okay, thank you. I'll take, I'll look into it and I'll let you know. And, bada bing, bada boom. And that's it. And I think that with us being so targeted and so into what's going on, we forget about how we're supposed to treat ourselves as a person. And that is to, wake up every morning with a loving heart, just for ourselves, not even for others around you, but just for ourselves, because of the pain and the torture that we may experience through the night. One of the things that I've also noticed with living in a place that has a lot of people in and out are that a lot of the kids sometimes tend to be a part of, the fuckery that goes on with gang stalking. And you have to remember that if you have children as well, your children may be a part of that bullying cycle, or may be a part of, just people the kids who play too much, or the kids who annoy you too much, or the ones who are always in your face too much. And so as a parent, you want to talk to your children about being safe in the school environment, or being safe just around the home, because you never know who's lurking around any corner. Your mind may be playing tricks on you, right? And that's what they want you to think, and they want you to make you, they want to make you feel very, weary about, doing your everyday activities. Now you tend to wonder, being a targeted individual, what does this, consist of? It just consists of harassment, torture. You may feel that, certain things inside is just not, in your body is just not right. And as a woman, you know how your body feels. As a man, you know how your body feels. And you kind of try to, put the pieces of this puzzle together to kind of stop it from happening. But what I can say is that when you live in a hostile environment, don't take on that hostility from the people that are around you, because that's what they want you to do. They want you to be angry and upset, that they're constantly hounding you, bothering you, asking you for things, asking you questions. They want, can you give them a ride somewhere? There's always something, some method to their madness. And when we deal with this on a daily basis, we have to learn how to just, be polite and say, no, I don't have any today. Sorry. And that's okay, because you can't please everyone out there. You know what I mean? And being a targeted person is hard because you're already faced with so many dilemmas throughout your day. As you wake up in the morning, you have no idea what may have happened that night before. So your mind is kind of going around in circles. And how I think about it is that most of the time we feel so trapped in our own self that we don't know how to let it go. We don't know how to focus on the better things in life that are making us happy, because we're so focused on the pain and the anger and the anxiety that we're dealing with. What I've learned is that when you deal with so many different attitudes and so many different, people on a daily basis, it's very good for a targeted individual to get out and to see the different characters of people that are around, because then you can kind of pinpoint who's who and what is what, and kind of be at ease about what's going on, because you have a better path of, how to handle it. I feel that, your everyday life has to be your everyday life, and you have to continue to live your everyday life. What can we say? Who's watching us, how they're watching us, when they're watching us, why they're watching us, and why is it that I feel this way, that they are watching me? But I also have to say, if they're watching me, they must be watching everybody else. So like I tell my children, remember, when you go out into the world, or you go outside to hang with your little friends or whatever, make sure you remember that there's always somebody watching you. There's always cameras around. There's always something to indicate that someone is keeping an eye on you, no matter if you think they're not. And I think that's what people have to just think about as their everyday life uh, into their everyday life is that no matter where you go, there's cameras everywhere, on lights, on the buildings, in cars, in pens, on desks. There's cameras everywhere. So we're being watched constantly anyway. So the whole world is kind of a big targeted circle, but we're the ones that are saying we're targeted individuals. Do you know what I mean? When you look at Kobe's situation, when you look at the coronavirus, when you look at the shooter in, Thailand, when you look at all these things that are happening, these people are also targeted. But are they targeted individuals? What type of caliber is, are certain people as far as being targeted? Old Dirty Bastard felt that he was targeted. Aaron Hernandez was targeted. A lot of people in life that we see on TV, they say, hey, Aaron Hernandez was, taken to jail. He was targeted. But was he a targeted individual? What is the difference? I'm trying to figure out. Okay, so another thing that I realized that really helps me is that they always focus on my feet. Okay, my feet are very sensitive, and they hurt so much sometimes. They burn so much sometimes that sometimes I just want to cut all my toes off just because it just irritates me. So I try to, put on nice socks and, layers of protection to try to help my feet. But what I did find was that if you are getting constant pain in your toes or your feet, the best type of socks that I find to work well are the ones that have the different slots to put your toes in, like gloves. So your toes are not close together when you put your socks on. They're basically separated and they have their own individual slot, which to me, it makes it a little harder for them to kind of get all that radiation beaming down to your foot when you have the separation, because then you can move your toes like this, and you can kind of fuck up the whole action. Another thing that I find very helpful for me is that when I used to go out, I used to always, who's behind me? I used to be so scared. Who's behind me? You always look back, always look back. Now, as I go out, I don't even waste my time to look back anymore, because sometimes it's just, I'm seeing the same old stupid shit, and I'm tired of seeing the same old stupid shit. I want them to try something else pretty much new and stop with the same old nonsense that they've been doing, years ago for other people. Let's up their game up, you know what I mean? And so I don't look around as much. I don't waste my time to see who's behind me, and I just enjoy the time that I'm out, because if you don't enjoy the time that you're out, there's no need for you to be out. Because if you're going to be upset and paranoid about when you're going out, it's best just to stay at home, because you don't want to bring any more unwanted attention to you as you're going out in the world. You know what I mean? And it's pretty much a basic, live your life and learn different ways to adjust to the problems that you're having. I also had a lot of problems with my head, in the back of my head right here. It's still, going through phases of, very tender hurting. And if you go, to my previous videos, it's, I talk about the pain that I felt in my head, and the, ringing in my ears, and the different type of things that I feel that they do to constantly harass me. But I find now is that when I wake up in the morning, yeah, I may be in pain. I may have some pain, but the one thing that I can say is that I'm still alive, and I'm able to come every day and put a little video out just to show to others that it's not that, it's not that bad once you come to terms of what's going on. But you just have to remember that no matter where you go, whether it's in the workplace or not, you're always going to be tested with people that have no common sense whatsoever. I mean, real stupid people that you just wonder, how are you even on this earth right now? Okay? And that's what you think about. And you have to say to yourself, like, they have no idea of how stupid they are, and you have to kind of forgive them. And in order to live a loving life, you have to learn to forgive those who torture you. And so my word for today is forgive. Forgiveness is a strength that a person can have in their body. And forgiveness is very powerful, because people do a lot of shady bullshit to people, okay? A lot of stuff that, motherfuckers want to kill you over. They want to bury you. They just don't want you around. But if we learn as human beings to forgive and to let go of what's going on and focus on the better part of our life, we can begin to heal ourselves. Because if we say, you know what, I forgive that fucking gang stalker for being such an idiot today. You have to forgive it, and you have to forget it, and you have to let it go. You have to learn that forgiveness is the key to a happy heart. Forgiveness is a key to a happy heart. And if you have forgiveness, if you give forgiveness, if you receive forgiveness, however way it goes, you will live a happier life. So the word for today, everyone, is forgive. And we will start to forgive all these gang stalkers that torture us in their individual ways. I'm not saying we're going to forgive them all today. You know, it takes time. But we will forgive their actions, and we will understand that they know not what they do. So I want everybody today to think of the word forgive, and to put it in your mental today, and to focus on forgiving those angry managers that call you, those stupid workers that come up and down the hallways, the neighbors that pop in and out of your space when you're just trying to have a regular day. Learn how to forgive them, because you know what? They know not what they do. Everyone have a great day, and remember to love each other, love yourself, and love your family. Love the ones that love you.